many creepy men and losers sit around worried about passport bros and tricks and all this other stuff? Oh, what kind of heterosexual man with healthy self-esteem, a healthy testosterone level, who's winning in life, sits around and spends his days worrying about what another man does with his sack and his money? It's getting creepy. It's disturbing to me. It's anti-masculine. You watch an old Western movie, you see the cowboys come from out in the open range, whether they're working the railroad or they're gold mining or whatever. And, the guys that are married and they're in their family and their traditional Christian life or whatever religion lifestyle. And the guys that are single, that work the ranges and whatever else, they go to their brothels, get tuned up, and they go back, they take their ass back to work. That is a masculine environment. But what we see here today, it's really comes down to hatred and jealousy and this competition that men have between each other about who has access to pre-owned box. Like, go outside and do some push-ups or something. Build up some strength and do something with yourself. You jelly-back, sack-watching, weak, bitch-ass men watching other men's sacks. It's degeneracy. It's degeneracy, man. It's sickening. I don't give a rat's ass if I look on a YouTube. I don't want YouTube channel and see some 60-year-old guy with a 28-year-old woman. That's women stuff. Women worry about that shit. Or some whatever. Maybe some, and what it is too is this. What they got next to them is tormenting them, or is absolutely hideous. Or let's say a guy like me, I'm 51 years old, right? And I've achieved a certain amount of success in life. And if I'm tied to some disgusting, hideous creature, and I look over online and see some 24-year-old guy who's probably got about $2,000 in his bank account, and he's got something fine and hot on his arms, and you got all that money and all that power, and you're sleeping with the, Jabba the Hutt's sister. That bothers these guys' egos. That's why you're sitting around, sponsoring crash out content, watching people in jealousy and envy and hatred towards men living free and on their. A peaceful life is not tied to any plantation. So I'm not jealous of other men living life on their own terms. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't like the bullshit. I don't like the grifting. In my opinion, a simp is a global victim. If you have some mental health issues or some financial issues, you need to address those before you go anywhere else. That's why I recommend my brother coach a clinician. But this sack watching has got to stop in 2026. What are you, a homosexual? Why are you watching enviously other men and making commentary about what they do with their money or their freedoms? You see, I'm more of a libertarian mindset. I don't think you owe anybody anything. That's why I like Ayn Rand. That's why I like an objectivist mentality. But to sit around every day and, look at those guys. They're over there tricking. I don't care if you trick. The dating and relationship market right now is monetized. The women that really, they get into relationships, the ones that pick husbands in their youth get into relationships in their prime with the men they actually want to be with. After 30, they're transacting a lot of pre-owned box to guys that they wouldn't touch in their early 20s. So they're really transacting their sexual opportunity, in the words of Dr. Orion Turbin, outside of marriage. So anybody that gets married today is a fourth place finisher. Not even fourth place, to be honest with you. You're getting the leftovers, pretty much. And that's really what it's come down to. So, they're all eating leftovers. Let's cut the bullshit. We're all eating leftovers. No matter how much money you got, if you look at the guys, the Deontay Wilders, no matter how much money you got in this world, sexual liberation and feminism has ensured that you're getting leftovers. That's just the way it is. But it bothers somebody to be tied. They're tied to the leftover. The leftover is insufferable now. And there's some guy living free and doing, I'm not talking about some simp getting his ass handed to him overseas somewhere. There's this guy running down the beach with some, even if she's a 304, she looks better than that thing he's got on the couch. And at least she performed. Performance matters, man. That's what put smiles on your face. And that bothers these guys. Like, why are you bothered? What is wrong with you, man? And they'll come and do all this hater stuff. And imagine if you were winning in life and you're sitting around, why would you care? I don't care about no passport bros, none of this bullshit. I'm right here in America. I'm winning here. So if I go overseas, I'm winning there too. So if you're winning, why would you care about these types of activities of what men do with their sacks and their money? Why do you care? Is the thing. And they can't, it's just purely jealousy and hatred. Now, get me wrong, there's people that give people false information. There's people that are full of shit. And most of this content creation space is people that are full of shit. Grifters, double talkers, hypocrites, people that speak one thing, live a certain type of way. They don't focus on what really matters. And I say it over and over again, the biggest issue with men today is this outdated, antiquated mindset, because in their mind, they're thinking traditional, they're thinking of things of the past when you're dealing with a modern woman with a modern mindset. The only reason why they really want to get in a relationship with most guys is because they've ran for long enough being strong and independent. Maybe their biological clock is ticking, their options just ran out, and most of them have been imprinted by certain types of men. I know. People see me in the car. Well, they don't realize, like, I'm like in this car, I'm 6'8". So I used to be an athlete. I know the deal with these women. And they're gonna go and be in a relationship after being viciously pounded out? You think that woman's ever going to be happy after being imprinted like that? You're crazy. She's going to be sitting around thirsting for that. That's why these sexless marriages. Woman out here after a couple of years and she secures that bag. She's out here looking for excitement. And then you have social media with this addiction to attention and validation. Like, what's the deal with that? I mean, they're not going to... Look, download the new software and thrive. But this idea of some guy sitting around watching other men's sacks. Therapy is needed. I'm gonna call. You know what? I talked to my brother, coach of cognition. Like, that is a serious mental illness. Serious mental illness. But it's just born out of jealousy. It's born out of jealousy. Jealousy and whatever else. They don't care if these guys are getting, they like the content that guys, you see when you see guys fail and guys do bad because of like, yeah, look at him, look at him, look at him. At least my big hog that I got sitting on the couch. Yeah, I'm not going through that. Look at that. They're watching to see guys crash out because they hate their lives. It's sad. But anyhow, let me know what you guys think about the channel. Make sure you guys subscribe, like the comment, like the video. But what is the hell? Why? What is your obsession with other men's sacks and their wallets and their money? Huh? My thing is, could you please go drain that poison and get back to work? We have an engine to put in the car or something. We got work to do, man. That's how other cultures see it. So they don't care if some guy from overseas land in the community and whatever. They're like, man, look, we got shit to do. We got more important things to do than to worry about pre-owned box. There's work to do. That's the way they look at life. Not this Western mentality of overvaluing pre-owned. Anyhow, peace and blessings to you guys. Gotta hit the gym. Make sure you guys hit the like button.